Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. There's only one of you here at the moment, but give me a thumbs up please if you can hear me. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me please. There's a few more of you in here. There's 4 of you there now, so please give me thumbs up. Assalamu alaikum. Where are you guys from? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah. Let me move you guys back a little bit. I'll keep you a bit closer actually. Let's bring you in. It's alright. If you have any questions, please just get those ready, inshallah. We'll open this up to a little bit of we'll open this up to some Q&A at some point. There's some other Arabic that I wanted us to do, but yeah. We'll wait maybe another 30 seconds or something for some other people to come, if anyone else wants to come, inshallah. How are you all today? Everything is as Allah has planned, alhamdulillah. Okay, good. Some very nice questions coming in, inshallah. Okay, I'll just start. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashraf al-anbiya'i wal-mursaleen. Wa ala alihi wa ashabihi. Wa man tabi'ahum bi ihsanin ila yawmiddin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Some of you will be aware already that another Arabic teacher, someone else in our industry, someone known who has made resources for people to learn the Arabic language, somebody who even helped proofread the Arabic in 60 Steps program for me. He has passed away today after years of battling with cancer, and he was even a guest on my show as well. Our brother Ismaeel Beaumont, Inna lillahi wa Inna Ilيه raji'un. He passed away today, this afternoon. You can see it on his Instagram account there. His wife has had to make the announcement to the world, and just in case any of you guys weren't aware of it, I thought I'd announce it here as well, so that you can make dua for them, that our brother Ismaeel has that Allah make his grave a place of peace for him, and that Allah grant him the highest levels of Jannah, and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put ease in the hearts of his wife and his children, and all of his relatives who have lost him. But know that they haven't lost him. They'll just have to go without him for a while, because all of us will return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, Ismaeel is, he was a person that I only ever spoke to once, but as I say, like, I worked with him a few times. He's a person who I really, really highly respected, and was a graduate from the University of Medina, and he's a person who I've known other people pass away. We've all known people pass away in our families or people that we know of, but I don't know if I've known anyone fight for so long to stay around, and then all of a sudden, Allah has chosen to take him. I don't know, it's like when you see someone fight for so long and suffer for so long and be sick for so long and still survive, like you expect that it's not going to happen to them. You know, you expect that they'll pull through it and maybe even outlive you. I remember in my conversation with him, he said, you know, it may be the case that although he has cancer and I don't, like, it may be the case that he outlives me. You know, I remember him saying that to me. إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. It goes to show as well how amazing it is, isn't it? How people can have such an impact on people from so far away, even as well. Like, the amount of people that I know from different backgrounds and places around the world, and people who've even joined my program, who have been so inspired by him and stuff as well, and have learned so much from him, you know. And you know, and the impact that through like our social media platforms and stuff we can have now, it's incredible, isn't it? Subhanallah. Like, he was a person who helped proofread the Arabic in 60 Steps program, and he contributed to it massively as well. And you know, we ask that Allah reward him as well through all of the students who benefit from the Arabic in 60 Steps program, and anyone on this YouTube channel and stuff as well, that Allah give Ismaeel a share in that reward. I'd announced earlier that we were going to do this live stream before I heard the news today, so I probably wouldn't have announced it because, as you can see, I'm not really normal Sam today, but as I'd said that we would do it, I thought inshallah we would come here and we would still do it, and we'll try to benefit inshallah, and yeah. Okay, let me get to your questions, inshallah. We will talk about some Arabic today, though. I will talk. I mentioned that we would talk about the beginning of the story of the Prophet Nuh alayhi salam from Qasas al-Nabiyyin, and we may do that today, inshallah, if we get time. But as there's been a couple of questions, maybe we'll get into the questions first, inshallah. So let me bring you guys a little bit closer to me, inshallah, and we'll get into this. Okay. Alhamdulillah, you guys can hear me. That's good. Kelly is from the UK, but in Turkey. Hope you're enjoying Turkey. From Yorkshire, mashallah, got someone from up north. How can I start learning Arabic step by step to understand the Quran? So I'm going to make a video actually soon about kind of the shortcuts for understanding the Quran. I don't recommend people generally take shortcuts in their studies of Islam or of the Arabic language, right? Generally, knowledge that is acquired quickly is also lost quickly. But it doesn't have to be like that. If you learn knowledge quickly and you look after it and you use it and you value it, then there's no reason why it shouldn't benefit you. So what I thought I would do is I would put together like an equivalent of like a student cramming for exams, but for the Quran. So like if the month of Ramadan is about to come in and you're like, how can I understand the most Quran in the smallest amount of time so that I can understand Taraweeh and stuff, I'm going to put together like a 1 hour workshop maybe, where we'll maybe cover like 50% of the Quran, because there's such high frequency stuff in the Quran that there's certain things you can do with massive returns, like so we could focus on some of that stuff. Very, very high frequency vocabulary. Would maybe do about 70 words. About 70 words are about 50% of the Quran. So would maybe go over about 70 words and maybe go over some very, very high frequency grammar as well. And we'll make reference as well to the steps in the 60 Steps program as well that will help you with that. So anyway, like just to give you an example, a small example, like if you just knew the words Allah, min, which means from or of, and the word fi, right, meaning in. If you just know those 3 words, that's about 10% of the Quran, right? Just from those 3 words, there's an immense return on some words, and you know, even there's very, very high frequency verbs as well. Like the verbs qala and kana together make up about 3,000 uses in the Quran, and if you add other hollow verbs to that as well, like ja'a and sha'a, we're talking about 3,500 uses in the Quran. So there's certain words like that you can learn, and if you learn how to use them with high frequency grammar, then you can access a lot of the Quran relatively quickly. So high frequency vocabulary lists for that you can get that are quite available. Like if you Google high frequency words in the Quran, I think Quran Corpus has a list for that as well. And then high frequency vocabulary. I mean, I would say prepositions. Obviously, as I mentioned, like even just in those, the most frequently used words in the Quran, like min and fi, they're both prepositions. So learning prepositions, which is step 2 in the 60 steps program. There's very high frequency hollow verbs. The most common verbs in the Quran by far are qala and kana, and they're both hollow. So step 9 in the program. Step 10, because that's specifically about kana. I'd say step 18, because that's idafas, and idafas everywhere in the Quran. I think I counted 5 of them just in Surah Al-Fatiha. Like it's a short surah, half a page, like 5 idafas. So idafas, and like almost all of the surah of the Quran are idafas as well. So idafas definitely, and then Inna and her sisters as well, step 19. So yeah, I'd like to put together like a 1 hour seminar where we would go over the most high frequency, like a cramming, like a night before the exam cramming style, seminar. Maybe make it about 1 hour long and try to go over like 50% of the language that's covered in the Quran. That is a way you could do it. But even if you don't want to watch that whole video of mine, I've kind of given you the methodology for it to go and seek out the high frequency stuff. If your only goal is the Quran, and you're willing to do work afterwards for maintaining that knowledge, then and you can do it like that. What else have we got? إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. Ameen. Ismaeel was a big inspiration and also helped me on my Arabic journey as my mentor through the program. At this point, that feels like one of the things I'm most proud of about my career, maybe. Like, allowing students of mine to benefit from him actually on the program and have him as a mentor. That's really nice to hear from you that you benefited from that. Ameen. May Allah make it easy for his family. Ameen. Okay, if there's anything else, please let me know. If there's any other questions, inshallah. I've got some more time this week. My eldest son has finished school for the year, so that's relieved a little bit of my family commitment. So I've got a bit more time this week. So I wanted us to up the amount of content we do on this channel, inshallah. So I'd like to do a little bit more, inshallah. So I'd like any suggestions from you guys of what other things we've done. You have to go for Maghrib, no problem, inshallah. I'll need to go soon as well. I'm in Cornwall, and we pray like 35 minutes later than like London and Birmingham and stuff, because we're so far west that we pray a fair bit later. So I'll need to go in like 20 minutes, 25 minutes as well. But yeah, if you need to dip for Maghrib, please go to the Salah. Please go to the Salah. So we might do some other series. We might maybe do we might do some more of another story of another prophet. Obviously, we talked about doing the story of the Prophet Nuh alayhi salam. I'm thinking about a series of going through Arabic roots. Like I may do like a root of the day, and like we could even go through like a massive chunk of just the Hanswehr dictionary or something. Like, because the Hanswehr dictionary is you search Arabic words up. You search for Arabic words by their roots. So we could just do like, I think the first root is like abada is the first root, and then we'll just go to whatever the next root is. What else have we got? Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam. Okay, very nice. From the UK. I'm currently studying Arabic in my free time. I can speak to an extent, but I need help with how to become more fluent. What's your advice? So in terms of fluency, fluency is really skill rather than knowledge. Or you can be very fluent even without having vast amounts of knowledge, in my opinion. So that's really a case of practice. There's two things here. Like, one, it may be the case that you may just need to be in front of a teacher more, or a speaking partner. There's lots of good Facebook groups and stuff where you can find speaking partners, language exchange, things like that. If your Arabic is at a level where you can make conversation with native Arabic speakers and you don't need a teacher, then you can do that. Yeah, and obviously you save money by doing that as well. But often they want something in return. They want help with their English or something usually. Yeah, and then beyond that, we should think a little bit about how we actually make Arabic a more frequent thing in our life. You know, lots of my students want to get to a level of Arabic that their lifestyle clearly can't maintain. Because to be at a high level of Arabic and to maintain it, you need to be using it regularly, seeing it regularly, hearing it regularly, reading it regularly if you want to keep up your main skills. And you actually need to look at do a bit of lifestyle design. Like, how does that actually factor into your life? Yeah, many students will kind of have an idea that they want to be a fluent Arabic speaker and have excellent command over written Arabic, but their lifestyle doesn't show that at all. Their lifestyle doesn't show a demand for that at all, and so it's important to manufacture that in your life. Like that's a very real thing for me. Like I live in the UK at the moment, and you know, at home we don't use Arabic as our like main language for communicating at home. So I really need to go out of my way to make sure that I'm speaking to my Arabic teachers in Arabic multiple times a week, and I'm setting aside time for reading in Arabic and stuff like that. So it's and I also try to watch lectures and stuff in Arabic and consume Arabic content rather than English spoken content. I need to do that. I do that for Somali a lot as well. I really like Ustad Abdurrahman Hassan's series in Somali. It's really nice. Like he's with one of his teachers, Sheikh Ahmed Yare. He has a series in Somali where they have like a kind of face-to-face discussion in Somali. But anyway, okay, so what was next? I want to be an Arabic Islamic teacher. I didn't go to university because of the loan. I'm doing an apprenticeship in business. Is there a path where I can become an Islamic teacher without going to uni? What lectures do you watch in Arabic that you recommend to watch? Okay, good. Excuse me. So, as for the first question, it depends in what capacity you want to be a teacher. If you want to be a teacher in a school or in a like a government organized school, yeah, you'll need some kind of qualification for that, like a degree level qualification. But I would say that's probably one of the least rewarding and least lucrative ways to teach. I actually started my career as a school teacher. I started my career as a primary school teacher. And believe me, the amount of people that I've educated since leaving that job is just thousands and thousands more. Like the amount of reach and benefit you can have outside the classroom is so much more than in the classroom. So this is just my personal advice. Like some people really enjoy the intimacy of having a smaller group of students that you have an impact on, and with it being in person and stuff. But you can teach in many ways online or teach in the masajid and things like that. And seriously, if you get to a level of knowledge, people will come to you. Like when you're at a level of knowledge where you can you have ijazah in various books and you have good knowledge of the Arabic language and things like that, people will come to you quite often. So though if you have the knowledge, you know, you will be able to give it. The thing that matters the most is that you really do have a command over your craft. And then after that, the teaching opportunities kind of come. Yeah, or you can do more to kind of make those opportunities for yourself by creating a profile and stuff like that. But that's not for everybody. Not everybody wants to do that or be on camera and stuff like that. Yeah. What lectures do you watch in Arabic that you would recommend? So I don't have like a sheikh who is like in the public where I watch their lectures. Like sometimes when I'm driving or whatever, I'll just go onto YouTube and in Arabic I'll type, you know, tafsir, surah, whatever, right? And I'll listen to like a tafsir of a surah in Arabic, or sometimes I just listen to like fatawa of Sheikh Salih Al Fawzan, you know, people like that. I listen to their fatawa and stuff like that because you know, the level of Arabic and the level of adherence to Fusha is very high. So I quite like the short videos of a sheikh giving a fatwa, because the short videos are good because they're the amount of time that people will maintain a good level of Fusha. When there are long lectures, they often descend into Amiyya before very long. Lots of like the tafsir lectures that I listen to, many of them out of Egypt, they'll start off in Fusha and then gradually it will become a lot more Amiyya, which I'm less interested in personally. So that's just a little bit of my advice. Hire a online tutor on Italki. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely, go for it. You know, I might have a discount code for Italki somewhere. They used to sponsor my channel, but let me see. I might put it in the comments if any of you do, any of you guys. Okay, I found it here. If any of you guys want a discount code for Italki, then maybe we can do that, inshallah. I'll put it. Give me a couple of seconds, and I'll put it in the description. Assalamu alaikum, Ustad, who passed away. Wa alaikum assalam. Our dear brother Ismaeel Beaumont from Mysore Arabiya passed away today, this afternoon. His janazah will be at East London Mosque on Wednesday. I haven't seen the full details for what time his janazah will be, but yeah, that is who has passed away. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. So I can't see it at the moment, but I saw a second ago a question about my daughter. I don't have a daughter, I have two sons. But my wife has, I won't go into details because she prefers for me not to. But yeah, my wife's been through some things, but she's in good health, alhamdulillah. So that's not it. But it's our dear brother Ismaeel. Yeah, may Allah make it easy for his wife and his children and his close relatives. Okay. Okay, what else? Okay. Okay, guys, those of you who mentioned something about Italki, let me give you guys a discount code, by the way. I'm going to put it in the description in a second. Find an Arabic teacher on Italki. I'll also put the link to my program. Put that in now. Arabic60steps.com. Come on. Okay, here we go. Right. Okay. Okay, so in the description I have put I've put a link to Italki. No, it's not a student-only live. This is for everybody on the Arabic in 60 Steps YouTube channel. No, this one is not. If any of you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, by the way, please do that. We're trying to get up to 20,000 subscribers this summer, inshallah. We are at 19,875 or something. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that. That'd be a massive help for me. Okay, anything else? I'll stick around for another 5 minutes or so, inshallah. Yeah, and then I'll go because I need to pray Maghrib soon. Okay, is there anything else? What's going on? Are we asking questions or just a chill live? So both. Asking questions primarily. Yeah, I thought that maybe I would do an introduction to the story of the Prophet Nuh alayhi salam, but as Maghrib time's coming in, I don't think we'll get time today. But what I think I'll do instead is I'll start a little series. We did the series, we did a walkthrough of the story of Prophet Hud alayhi salam, and we finished that a long time ago, so we could do another prophet now. We could do the Prophet Nuh alayhi salam. So maybe we'll actually start that tomorrow. Yeah, and we'll release the videos every day for the next however long. Maybe do a chapter every day. So what we're doing today is just some Q&A. And I made a little announcement earlier about our brother and Arabic teacher Ismaeel Beaumont, how he passed away today. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. And yeah, I thought as I said that I would go live today, before I heard that news. Yeah, I thought I'd still stick to my word, even though I'm a bit distracted, as you can probably tell. So yeah, if you have any more questions, I'm going to stick around for another few minutes. So any questions at all about learning Arabic or about the 60 Steps program, fire away. Okay. Getting married feels like an impossible thing to do nowadays, Sam. Stay positive, inshallah. I find lots of people get themselves into a very negative cycle of thinking badly of the opposite gender a lot of the time, especially these days, and especially if you consume a lot of social media, and especially TikTok, I'd say. So I think you should stay positive, inshallah. When you stay positive and you think well of others, I think you invite that. You invite those people who who will respond to that. And we end up kind of manufacturing our own situation sometimes. If you have an attitude that men are terrible and they'll always cheat and they will never pull their weight and they're deadbeats, then I think you propagate that in your own life. And the same with men thinking about women. If you think women are gold diggers and you think that they are entitled and you think, whatever, they bring nothing to the table or whatever. If you say things like that, use that kind of language, then, you end up subconsciously sort of looking for women who fit that mold. And I don't think you should do that. I think you should think positively of the options that Allah may lay in front of you. Okay. Have you heard of the Sarf book? That's really small. I can't really read it. There's a Sarf book. I can't see it. The Arabic's really small on my computer. But I heard of this Sarf book from Damaj. I'm trying to zoom in. I can't even see the whole screen now. It'll be good to recommend to the students. So, yeah, any other students who can read that, then yeah, look it up, inshallah. Yeah, I mean, I don't really, in the kind of tradition that I teach Arabic in, I don't really separate Nahu, Sarf and Balagha. I don't really recommend to my students these books of Balagha, these books of Sarf, these books of Nahu. Here in the West, we're sort of more accustomed and more familiar with learning languages as a foreign language, and we have a way of learning kind of language in context. But obviously in the Islamic tradition, it makes sense that we have those separate sciences of Nahu, Sarf and Balagha. And in the Arabic in 60 Steps program, I only make passing reference to them a few times. So yeah. But that doesn't mean that I don't encourage students to look beyond the 60 Steps program and to not benefit from things beyond the program. So yeah. Shout out to brother Abdi Hafiz from Universal TV. May Allah bless that brother. Abdi Hafiz, mashallah. I asked him for a reference for something in Mogadishu, and he agreed to do that for me, which is very kind of him. He didn't have to do that. But anyway, okay, let's wrap it up now. Last call, guys. Any other questions you've got, stick them in, inshallah, and we will answer it. جيد. جيد. أو جيد. الصرف للمبتدئين. Good. Yeah, صرف for the beginners. Very nice. Good. مبتدئين. من الفعل بدأ يعني he started. مبتدئ هو الذي يبدأ في موضوع ما. He is the one who is starting in a certain topic. Okay, last question. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you. Ameen. Ameen wa iyyak. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whose sake you love me for, love you. Jazakallahu khairan. May Allah reward our brother Ridwan abundantly and forgive him for any of his shortcomings, increase him in his ilm, and may Allah accept from him. Naam. Oh yes, I didn't actually do an Eid video, did I actually? So تقبل الله مني ومنكم. Yeah, we'll say تقبل الله مني ومنكم. Naam. تقبل. This is a form 5 verb. تقبل. تقبل الله. May Allah accept. تقبل يعني accept. تقبل الله مني, from me, ومنكم, and from you in the plural, or منك in the singular for you, masculine, or minki, singular. But people usually just say تقبل الله مني ومنكم. Say kum is polite to use the plural. Just like how we say assalamu alaikum, we use the plural, even if we're addressing an individual. It's polite. I remember after learning the dual at university, my Arabic teacher, Ustad Muhammad, or we used to call him Mr. Saeed actually. Yes, we were not allowed to call him by his first name. Yes, Mr. Saeed sat down, Syrian gentleman, and I thought he'll be impressed by this. Turned to 2 other brothers that were sitting behind me, and I said to the 2 of them, Assalamu alaykuma, thinking that my Arabic teacher would be very impressed, and he was not impressed by that. Mr. Saeed had no time for me putting the dual on Assalamu alaykuma because there were 2 of them. He said it's rude. Say Assalamu alaikum. He said you wouldn't say Assalamu alayka to just one of them, so say Assalamu alaikum. So I learnt that lesson the hard way. He told me off a couple of times actually. Yeah, for things like that. That was awkward. I had an awkward relationship with Mr. Saeed because I'm a Muslim and like I'd hang around with like the other Muslim guys and stuff. He assumed that I was like from a Muslim family, and like I remember my first exam I didn't do very well. I did okay. I got like a 2-1, right, which is like a B. Okay, basically like a B. And he was like, in my like kind of like post-assessment conversation with him, he was like, you've done okay, but it's all just from stuff you knew anyway. And I'm like, no, I really didn't know anything before this course. And he was like, I've heard this story before, like, but I was really trying to tell him, no, I have worked really hard. This is from my work, from my hard work, that I've been able to, learn this little bit. And he was having none of it. Okay, just a quick question before I go, inshallah. What's the best way for someone to convey the meaning of should? ينبغي is nice. I should say thank you. ينبغي أن أقول شكرا. I should say thank you. ينبغي أن, and you always say ينبغي. If you use it in the third person, it's like it should happen. That أن كذا وكذا, but whatever it is. So ينبغي is the way we should do that. Yeah, to say should. That's the way that we teach it in the 60 Steps program. And wa alaikum assalam. I'm sorry you've joined just a little bit too late because I need to go and pray Maghrib now. Here in Cornwall, we pray Maghrib a bit later than the brothers and sisters in London and Birmingham and stuff. So it's just about Maghrib time now, so I need to go. But thank you all for coming to join me this evening. I know I was a little bit all over the place really, and still am, to be honest. But thank you for coming to hang out with me, and ask some questions that might benefit some other people and stuff, and for all of us to make dua for the family of our brother Ismaeel Beaumont, and for Ismaeel himself, that his journey in the Akhirah be a smooth and easy one, to Allah's highest ranks in Jannah. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.